Hello there, creatures, and welcome to another episode of Encounter This. I am Freeman, the self-cannibal Easton, and today my good buddy, James Multifaceted Kid, will be going through... I started that sentence, got to your nickname, and forgot how I'd started the sentence. So I don't know how to end it properly. Did I say we're going to do it together? I lost the context of my own words. We're going to cover some creatures today. Those creatures are called the Gongorinan, we think, and the Augnagar, we also think. And of course, when we get to the mechanics, we will be talking about our time in combat with them, featured by our very good friend Cam, the Spear Thief Terry. That is a deep cut for a nickname for Cam today. Patrons who get access to the proper combat will know what that means.
Assuming they've read it prior to this.
Yeah.
Or listened or watched it or whatever.
Yeah, watched it, yeah.
Whatever you do with videos.
Yeah. Do you read videos? Is that what you do, James?
I actually do sometimes.
I might explain your brain a bit.
The more often, the older I get, the more often I'm putting subtitles on.
I'm on subtitles for days, all the time, except for the most part, those AI generated ones, because they are fucking terrible.
Yeah, they're real bad.
They're real bad. They aren't replacing an industry anytime soon, I hope.
Hey there, creatures, and welcome to Encounter This, a podcast exploration of the creatures from Pathfinder 2nd Edition and the lore that surrounds them.
Let's talk about the Gongorinan, also known as the brood Qlippoth. This is a six-legged, rock-encrusted crab that lacks any aquatic adaptations. If we want to take a look at the artwork right away, we will notice right off the top that we have 4 different arms that come across this thing. There's a crab pincer, a mantis claw, a tentacle, and a humanoid arm and hand. And apparently it's described as having at least a dozen eyes, though I see 4 myself, that attach to 3-foot-long stalks along its body. The rest up top is like more rock formations. This description, however, does come, I will say, from 1E. The 2E for the monster core had 0 physical description written down, which I thought was kind of strange. Yeah.
This is the 1E art for reference.
There you go. Which we only see 3 eyes on instead of 4. Yeah. So not at least a dozen's just a really strange mistake in the description. That came from the wiki though. So to be fair, someone might have wrote it down wrong. Basically, its mouth is a mess of sliding plates and ridges that make a grating and shrieking sound. And it is unsuitable for attacks. It can't really do any damage. Though I will promise you, it does use it in some capacity. When idle, this creature will retract its limbs and its eye stalks and basically just resemble a boulder on the ground, which makes sense. You look at it, you go, yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Although I would be quite drawn to the red crystal formation we see in this one, and like the more, I guess, green one in the 1E. But yeah, this thing, but that one's a little more hideable, I think. The Dewey one really just would draw your eye, but maybe that's a good thing, because you want this thing to surprise you. I don't know.
I mean, how many? I don't know how many glowing red rocks just exist in nature in Galarian, but it kind of feels like a lot, to be honest.
It could be. That's true. That is true. But beyond all of this, we're looking at a 6-foot tall or wide creature, I guess, about 1.8 meters, and it's 800 pounds, 363 kilos.
Huge.
Pretty big. I mean, not huge size category though, but big.
No, I mean, like that's as tall heavy as I am, give or take, and about 4 times heavier, which makes me feel a little bit better about myself.
The motivations of these creatures are to eliminate. Let me retake that. These creatures are not focused on the elimination of mortals like a lot of the others. This particular creature that you could face is instead on that front of the removal of mortals' understanding of their own actions, thus removing the possibility of sin, and therefore negating the possibility that they will be sent to the outer rifts after death to feed said plane. So they are really digging into that that kind of strategy that some of the Qlippoth lords had to destroy sin at its core, I guess, or at where at its foundation, and that's not necessarily through the death of mortals. It's through the death of sin itself. So, and they consider killing sinful creatures that so many Qlippoth commit to as a major part of the problem, which I think is pretty obvious for us. They are just feeding the plane, and they are feeding the demons more souls the more they wreak destruction. It is that sin they want to remove. So this is like the one creature that we've encountered so far that is dedicated to that, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah. It's yeah, like you said, it just feels like they're spinning the wheel, They're as much as their actions are pure to their intent, they are fundamentally flawed.
Yeah, they're just sort of they're contributing to their own issue, and maybe it's because of this like intense anger, and it's this constant long time response to having lost their ground and their home, and having it taken over, and they're just not thinking logically, I guess, or pragmatically.
Well, and I mean, like, think about it from the human standpoint too, right? Like, if this giant crab came and killed one of your friends, you'd get pretty raged.
Yep.
Like
certainly would.
Like,
yeah.
Every action just inspires the exact opposite of their desire or reaction in humanity, or theoretically anyway.
Yeah. Because that reaction is more likely to result in sin itself. So if we get into some 1E content, we're looking at some info that basically specifies these creatures are spawned from Yamasoth himself, and they hold clutches of quote unquote heart-sized eggs that contain the quintessence, one of James's favorite concepts and words, of the outer rifts, and mixed with some ichor of Yamasoth. The eggs can be implanted into a living host via and this is a brand new word for me, via a ovipositor.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea what that was.
Very, as a student of Giger, I'm very familiar with that term.
Oh, okay, yeah. Basically, this ovipositor is in its mouth, and it will inject the eggs via this appendage, I guess. And it is apparently a time-consuming process, so it leaves the Gongorinan vulnerable. And these eggs take many days to grow. And the victim is usually cocooned in some fashion, hidden away during the process. And and as the eggs gestate within them, they feed upon the victim's intelligence and eventually permanently transform the victim into an animal, aberration, magical 1E term, beast, or vermin. It is whichever of those it's up to the Gongorinan, I think, upon infestation. And when they do fully transform, they become wholly loyal to the Gongorinan, whom they see as their progenitor, and their memories of their previous lives are erased. But if somehow those memories and their previous self are restored, presumably through powerful magic, their time with the Gongorinan is added to their memories, so they don't forget that part. All the memories return, and they remember the whole time they were with the Gongorinan. And in most cases, the result is that the victim goes insane because they see their time with the Gongorinan as their true life, and the rest as a false curse that they are doomed to continue. So even being saved by this will doom you.
There are a bunch of left turns in there that I didn't see coming. At first, I thought we were going to have a lawsuit from Ridley Scott for a second.
Isn't that crazy? Like,
Yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
first your first 5 bullet points are the plot, like the initial plot of Alien. Like
right.
the first hour of that movie.
It's
I'm just
so
picturing John Hurt
gnarly.
with a Gongorinan
Yeah.
attached to his face.
So we have a pulp culture nod. Words are eluding me today.
We're not prepared.
We have an improvised pop culture nod to Aliens with this, because I agree with you. Yeah, it's something. There is that element of like, oh, if I affect this creature, it transfers into a different thing. But it's a bit inversed. But yeah, it's such a brutal kind of thing to happen, I guess. Like, you don't want to be the victim of this creature in that capacity.
Every aspect of this is horrifying.
Having
a 6
is.
foot rock crab attached to your face for hours, cocooned for a couple of days, and then you just wake up as a deer. Many days, yeah.
Yeah.
So cocooned for a week, and then you just wake up as a deer, and then 100 years later, 10 years later, you wake up as a human again with all those memories. Like, yeah, I get why.
And you loved being the deer the most.
How could you not? Life's so free and easy,
Yeah. It is a strange description, because I have a hard time imagining it actually transforms you into a deer. For me, I didn't actually look at the 1E mechanics. I probably should have. To me, it was I was imagining more of like it because it's feeding on your intelligence. It's putting you into the mindset of one. So it's probably even more funny and also more horrifying that you are still some sort of human creature that thinks it's a deer. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe something does actually hatch out of you. It doesn't really specify. It does, I guess it does sort of say transform. So
transform is the word I'm fixating on here.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know why the Gongorinan would pick a deer exactly, but it is.
I just saw animal, and it was the first thing that popped into my mind, because I was listening to how they're culling that deer population on Sydney Island this morning.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's too funny. There's your challenge. This is your challenge. You have to come up with a reason why this thing wants a deer as a loyal pet. you surely come up with a reason.
Fast and majestic and delicious.
Fast and majestic. We have a little extra on this creature too than some of the previous ones, because they're so closely related to Yamasoth. So basically, beneath Hollow Mountain, famous mountain in Galarian, on the Riven Ring Island, of the
famous mountain,
in the Varisian Gulf.
Adventure Pass named something Hollow Mountain.
Yeah. Beneath this mountain, about 8,000 feet below, or 2,438 meters or so, there's an immense cavern known as Gongorinan. This is within the layer known as Sekamina, which is we've talked about before. It's the middle layer of the Darklands, where Yamasoth had once made home and had his flesh warping laboratory pre-Starfall. And so they basically, these creatures will form massive hive-like cities within the outer rifts, where populations reach the thousands. But it is in Gongorinan, on the physical material universal plane, that the largest of these cities exists, where Yamasoth used to reside. And it is thought that they are basically created by Yamasoth, who was a flesh warper, and they remain the favored minion of Yamasoth, often serving as officers in his armies when called to it.
Oh, cool. I never think of the Qlippoths as being like organized, having armies. But I guess that's just a mistake in my personal perception.
Well, we got such a wide variety of perspectives when we covered the Demon Lord versions and the ones that remain Qlippoth Lords. You know that one clip, like we talked about in the last one, the one Qlippoth Lord who just like goes in, murders as many things as demons as they can, and until they're killed, and then respawns in a lake. Like, they're not really forming an army, right? And then Zev Gavazeb, who's just like mostly the worshippers are trying to avoid him coming around. He's not paying attention at all. It's like, obviously those ones are not doing that, but there are the ones that are a little more calculating, a little more planning. Yamasoth being one of them, I think, though the plan is so aloof. Many of them are very aloof, But like that Yamasoth was the one that's like considered to be a nascent demon lord, but is offended by the fact is actually lives amongst demons in this sort of like weird neutral piece and is allowed to continue flesh warping. So I'm with you. Like they are disorganized. There's no way around it. They are disorganized, but there are hints at the potential of them forming armies and actually enacting on a plan of some kind, even if it's just one of those lords that manages to start something.
Takes all kinds, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think all signs point to why the demons are still. It's not just the influx of souls as why they're still, you know, the top dogs in the outer rifts. The Qlippoths just really need to get their shit together.
Yeah, it kind of that's why I assumed that they had failed thus far, is they just weren't organized to you know, to an extensive degree, but knowing that they can organize makes them that much more terrifying, especially after fighting a couple of these Gongorinans.
Yeah. These things were a pain in the ass. Let's talk mechanics.
Yeah, let's bring us.
So Gongorinan is introduced to second edition via the remastered Monster Core. So not pre-remaster, definitely 1E as we've covered, but it did not appear pre-remaster in 2E. So we have a fully updated stat block, which is nice. It is a level 11 creature, AC 31, HP at 205. It's medium in size, and it's got all its appropriate traits, including that unholy trait, which is nice. It has a 40-foot land speed, a 40-foot climb speed, and a 40-foot fly speed, which is bonkers. I mean, all these things are fucking flying in some capacity, so it's no surprise. But damn, did that mess with us. It's got a mad spread of stats at 6 strength, 6 dex, 7 con, which is amazing. I thought it was
made of rock with a bunch of limbs, so it adds up.
I thought it was a bit odd that it's meant to be offers as an army when it's got a 1 intelligence and only a 3 wisdom, and but the 4 charisma does kick in a bit maybe for that role. But at level 11, I would at least hope it had a little more intelligence, you know.
Well, you don't need to be smart to follow orders. In fact, it probably helps true. If you're not. That's
a very good point. That's a very good point. We are, of course, looking at our usual mental physical resistances are still at 10 for the level 11, exception of cold iron and the physical, immune to controlled and fear. It's pretty above board. This is the first time we're seeing a Qlippoth with an item in their inventory.
Yeah,
which that you can see. You can see a little box stick there. It is a +1 striking club. Go to the 1E art real quick. I think it's holding a different weapon.
Fucking scimitar.
It's got a sword. It's got a scimitar. Yeah. Again, I should have looked at the 1E stat block. I didn't. I'm only now cluing in that some of the physical properties are a little bit different. I'm curious if you have time to pull it up, James. I'm curious if that scimitar has a similar effect to the club, which we'll get to in a bit. Let's talk about its attacks. It's got those 4 limbs that do different things, and this creates quite a variety in attacks. They're all really obvious adjustments when you get used to these stat blocks. The club, straight up, +24 to hit, 2d6 +9 bludgeoning, plus something called reject tools, which really messed our day up. We'll get to it later.
Messed
my day up. Hey, what's mine is yours, dude. Come on.
That's fair. That's fair.
So very straightforward attack. This is a +24 versus the rest, which are +23 because of that +1 weapon they're holding. So +23 from here on out. Pincer, magical and unholy traits attached to it. It is a 2d10 +9 slashing, plus 2d6 mental plus grab. So you've got a solid hit, bigger hit than the club. Additional mental damage and the potential to grab someone. Pretty significant attack. Tentacle comes in. Agile magic reach 10 feet. Unholy. So damage dice is coming down again. 2d6 +9 bludgeoning plus the mental as well, though. So it's still a good hit. So you're trading out reach for grab and a little bit of less damage. Then you have the stinger, which is a 2d6 +9 piercing plus Gongorinan venom, of course. So you're getting a little poison action in there to pull out to make up for the other ones.
So which one is the pincer and which one is the tentacle? Because I see the stinger. It's that weird little like half moon thing. And I see the club and I see the pincer, but I also see like a praying mantis arm, and they're like, they snap, right? Like that's their whole thing is they're like,
yeah. Yeah, I think the pincer is the crab claw. That's a pincer.
It's gotta be, right?
Yeah. And then so the tentacles, I think the obvious one on the left and the back. And then so your stinger for some reason is that mantis claw. I don't know why they called it stinger.
Okay, so the one with the poison barbs on it is the tentacle. Cool.
But that's not the one delivering poison. That's the weird part.
Right, yeah.
That's the one with reach.
This whole thing is crazy.
So they might have misnamed some of these. We might be finding ourselves in another situation where the artist and the stat block creator didn't coordinate enough, but
maybe I'm just being too pedantic.
You are, yeah, but that's obviously true.
Well, I mean, that's where you come, right?
But it's legit. It's legit.
You come from
it's legit pedantry. I back it up. I'm here. I'm with you.
But 1E, no hammer bonk. They've got the scimitar, and their only SUs are horrific appearance, OV position, and poison.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
No
position
reject tools that I can see. Yeah. Implant a stony egg the size of a human heart in any small or larger pinned, helpless, or willing creatures of full round action that provokes.
Okay.
It goes on for about another 2 paragraphs.
Okay. Yeah. That I knowing that is enough for me, because I know that this creature, the 2E version is basically forgone the egg thing, but it has replaced it with something else. So we'll get to it in just a moment. Let's talk about its 2 action abilities. We have, of course, it's got its own display action. They all have a display action. We've very learned this is a very common theme. It's called disquieting display.
All suck.
They all suck. Yeah, none of them are fun. This one opens its maw and reveals strange forms hidden within, making the observers question their own bodies. Is the way it's described. 30-foot emanation, DC 30 will save, immune to future displays for 1 minute, which is very in line. Critical success, unaffected. Success, clumsy for 1 round. Failure, clumsy 2 and slowed 1 for 1 round. Critical failure as failure for 1 minute.
Gross.
Yeah, this is all its own kind of extra thing. I feel like this is not as bad as some of them. Clumsy can be brutal if you're getting crit, because that's hitting your dex, that's hitting your AC. Slowed 1 obviously really sucks. Slow 1 for 1 minute really fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But I think the critical failure is really nasty. The rest of it is totally recoverable in my opinion. It's not really messing your whole day up unless that clumsy 2 forces you to be crit at the wrong moment. But
which it might. I think that happened to us.
It may have, but it doesn't stand out in the same way that like sickened 1 causes you to miss entirely too many times, right? Yeah. And you have to try to retch, and you fail that retch save, and you're like, why am I even here? Clumsy 2 for 1 round.
Probably
I can. It's fine. It's fine.
You can make it through that. So this is probably what replaces that OV position, because it opens its maw and reveals a bunch of weirdness inside, which is presumably that.
Well, that and something else. For sure.
Oh, there's more in its mouth.
Cool. There is, sort of, yeah. Before I get to it, though, we'll cover painful limbs, a 2 action ability. And this is quite typical of many creatures with multiple limbs. So you've basically got you can make 4 strikes again, but they all have to be against different targets and with a different limb. So if 3 to 4 of the party members are within range of this creature, it becomes a pretty bad idea for them, because they all count towards the map but don't trigger until after the attack. So it's because it's only 2 actions, it could just fly itself in at 40 feet and just bam. Even if one person's 10 feet away, that tentacle can strike that one. So you're getting.
I think that's exactly what happened to us. Is that it flew in 40 feet, dropped down, and painful limbed 3 of our 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it hit all 4 of us, but we definitely hit all 3 of us, and I think it did it more than once. So But the one thing we learned from this creature is it wasn't it's not punchy for its level. For what we fought at level 10, we fought 2 of them, and they are level 11. It wasn't really going to kill us, but it really made our day hell.
That it was
its ability
fight,
to fly around.
You could see the win. I don't know if we would have gotten there had we played the combat all the way out. But it was visible. we got one of them at least, and we got one of them really close. The other one really close. So
so like we definitely were hit by this display. We were definitely hit by the painful limbs multi-attack. But mostly these things were kind of guerrilla tacticking us. That's a phrase, right?
Yep.
Yep. And just flying away and messing us up, and we had to chase it down. That reject tools, I'm gonna save it to the last because it really it's still jammed in my craw. Really made it hard.
Get there.
Yeah. But we have let's talk about Gongorinan venom. This is part of what's replaced the ag thing, in my opinion. So basically, if it's injected via said stinger attack, you are looking at a DC 30 fortitude save. Each stage of this is 1 round. It's got 5 stages, which is pretty big for a poison. First is Stupefied 1, and you start to display cosmetic signs appearing to turn into an animal, fungus, or plant. So you can see right away that's part of that, sort of like, mixing it back in. Stage 2 is Stupefied 2 and Clumsy 2. So this poison is much worse than the display. Stage 3 is Stupefied 4 and Clumsy 4. And then stage 4 is Paralyzed as the changes completely overtake your body. And then stage 5, this is a poison, mind you, permanently transforms you into an animal, fungus, or plant. This becomes a curse, and the effects of the poison end at that stage. So you can't actually do any more saves versus it.
Once it becomes a curse, there's nothing to save against.
Exactly. And note that this is a poison without a max duration. We kind of cover one, like typically it's a 6-round max duration. None on this one. It's acting more like a disease, but it's a fast acting disease. These diseases are by day or hours. This is round by round with disease like effects. And it's brutal. if you fail those fort saves, baby, holy crap! If you're really not doing well, you could just be transformed into an animal in 5 rounds, which is pretty gnarly.
Yeah, and while 30 is a reasonable save at 10th level, it is by no means a gimme. I think it's still like a 45% chance for all of the PCs that we played.
Yeah, definitely depends.
Definitely attainable, but definitely also chance of moving pretty far down this track.
The final thing is the goddamn reject tools. Oh, it's worth noting the venom has the polymorph trait, which polymorphs have to like counteract each other, or they don't interact. You can't have more than one upon the same person. So double check your rules on polymorph when this venom is injected. I don't know if it's the moment it's injected to you that it counts as polymorph, or when you're finally transformed. The stat block didn't really lay it out in a way that makes that obvious. So GMs, do your extra work on that.
And players, make sure you're checking your feats and your ancestries too, because I don't remember off the top of my head, but there are ancestry feats that either prevent you or make you more difficult to be polymorphed. I don't remember the ancestry off the top of my head. I think it might be Dwarven, but make sure you're looking at those too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it might be in there with changelings, and certainly there might be some crossover a little bit with like with kitsune and stuff, and those who have the ability to transform themselves into like foxes or different animals. You might have some interaction with polymorph traits that you want to make sure you have covered.
Might be an interesting way to try and counteract this before it becomes a curse.
Exactly.
You can hit that recall knowledge.
Could be really cool. Let's talk about reject tools. It's so simple. It's so ridiculous. It's so effective, especially when you fail, especially when you get hit every time and fail every goddamn save. Creature hit by the club in this beat stick this thing has. You must attempt a DC 30 will save or release any manufactured objects that you are holding. My God, I was playing a champion who just kept tossing their spear aside and ungripping their stupid shield every goddamn time. I always get hit, and I always failed to save, even when I was like, I got this. No, didn't get it. And I had to spend so much time picking my spear back up and regripping my shield. In fact, at some point, I'm pretty sure I forgot to regrip my shield. We just moved on because these things were just harrying us, and they weren't killing us, and they were just making life difficult, making me drop my weapons and then flying away. You're like, come on. It's like wasted turn after wasted turn. It was really fun, but damn, was it frustrating at the same time.
It was really fun, but the patrons will find out how long this actually took us and how long it could have taken us. Like this, it could have been half the time if it was any GM other than Cam doing it. But
probably. It's just so ridiculous. Well, let's get into a little bit of spell casting because all of them have some for some reason. We have a one with stone spell, which is pretty fitting. It's a rank 3. Basically, it you either transform into a stone or merge with stone. It has the same effect as one with plants. Thank you, Paizo, for linking that. But it lets you merge into stone. I appreciate the sub kind of rules of like, oh, go check that one out to see how it works, so that you know how this one works. So they save page space, but like, damn, sometimes I'm not ready for it.
9 clicks to figure out how one spell works.
Yeah,
you can imagine no shade on the tag system.
Yeah, no shade.
There's a little room for improvement.
Yeah, as you can imagine, it's there. It's meant to hide you. So let's not overthink it. That's turning themselves into a boulder. We have a constant spell of unfettered movement at a rank 4, which basically means that you ignore any effects that give you a circumstance penalty to speed. And when you attempt escape checks, when you attempt to escape an effect that has you immobilized, grabbed, or restrained, you automatically succeed unless the effect is magical. This came up at some point, and it was really annoying. It was like, I'm totally gonna just grab this guy, and then it was just like, nope. You're like, huh?
Just scuttled away.
God damn it. Yeah, so that's a really powerful ability for a creature that can just fly everywhere. So keep that in mind, GMs. You're gonna mess everybody up. It also rank 6. It can cast Petrify. It's a very powerful spell. Not a incapacitation spell, though some might assume it is. And it has it has incapacitation within it, within the failure.
Okay. Effect. I was gonna say it does have the trait.
Yeah. But that on a success you're slowed 1, and that's not incapacitation. So you're not looking at incapacitation upon the initial save, is what I should say. But the ongoing effect of the failure will introduce incapacitation. And obviously that's because it could potentially turn you completely into stone. We don't need to cover the whole spell. It's very thematic. And
I don't know if that's the right reading of that, though, because it has the trait. Wouldn't the initial casting of it suffer from incapacitation as well?
No, because it's similar to
the body of the spell at all.
No, it's similar to what's the one there that oh god, it's so famous. So you inject fear into someone's mind and it has the potential to kill them on the spot.
Like Phantasmal Killer.
That's the one. That's the one. It introduces an incapacitation effect as a result of a secondary save, which is the result of a critical failure or some such, right? So like the initial save is not incapacitation, but if you critically fail, then it introduces a secondary save that is incapacitation or is a death effect or some such. The primary base of the spell isn't there, but some of those the degrees of success, certain ones will have incapacitation introduced to them. I mean, we might as well I'll just read it quickly anyway, just to make sure we're clear on it. On a failure, the target is slowed 1 and must attempt a fortitude save at the end of each of its turns. This ongoing save has the incapacitation trait. So it's not the initial one, it's the ongoing saves that introduce incapacitation. And it's because if you do fail those, that slowed condition increases. So it's when you're stacking the slowed conditions at that point, it's incapacitation.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I'm an idiot. I think you're talking about petrify, and I'm looking at cursed metamorphosis.
Oh yeah, no, petrify. Yeah, it's been.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Done here. No further questions.
Okay. Since you've been looking at cursed metamorphosis, how about you tell me about it? Because I haven't looked at it yet. Oh, I can't hear you.
It's a 30-foot range, one target. You transform the creature into a harmless animal appropriate to the area with effects based on its fortitude save. Success unaffected.
Okay.
Crit success unaffected. Success, you gain minor features of the harmless animal. Your insides churn and you become sickened 1. When you recover from the sickened condition, you revert to normal. On a failure, you transform for 1 minute, but you keep your mind. You spend all of your actions on its turn trying to concentrate to return to your original form. You can then attempt a will save again. Critical fail, you are transformed for an unlimited duration. You're just you just animal.
This happened to me. I was turned into, what did Cam say? A squirrel? Was it a squirrel? No, a bunny. It was a bunny.
And it was and you.
I advocated to be a Wolpertinger instead.
Yeah, which is for our for our North American friends is like a jackalope from hell.
Yeah, basically. I believe it comes from German folklore, if I recall correctly. But we've covered it. We've mentioned Wolpertinger on Encounter This at some point. I'm sure we have.
You have.
I have.
Every time I hear that word, I think it's the first time.
The only reason I know it is because of when I played World of Warcraft, and you can just get little pets that you just like appear. You use the item and it just appears beside you, and it's just like a vanity item. And there was a Wolpertinger. There was a Wolpertinger, and I was like, "This thing's awesome! It's a little winged horned bunny, and I love it."
Right.
I just never forgot it.
Is that the game responsible for paid DLC, or was that Morrowind with the horse armor?
Sorry, you never played World of Warcraft.
No, I've never even seen World of Warcraft. Like, I've seen the box on store.
You have you just didn't know it was World of Warcraft. No, World of Warcraft is an MMORPG. It's not a paid DLC thing. It's buy expansions and buy vanity items. Okay. Yeah. Who's responsible for DLC? I couldn't say. I don't think it was Morrowind.
Paid DLC.
I think it's
it would have been Oblivion then, I think. Hit us up in the comments.
It could have been Oblivion.
It
could have been Oblivion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember it
sounds like a Bobby Kotick
the quote unquote expansion you could buy for Oblivion. And that might have been one of the progenitors.
A specific paid item. This was the first time you could pay to get a cosmetic item in a game.
Oh, that I don't know. I don't. That doesn't ring a bell for Oblivion. But
maybe it wasn't. Know. But I remember it being horse armor, and that was the meme. And I just always assumed it was World of Warcraft.
All right. Couldn't say. Definitely couldn't say. Anyway,
it's certainly not important.
We digress. That's the Gongorinan. We're done. We're done with this one.
All right. There's not much to say about it, really. Like, I wouldn't change too much going back up against it. Like, I mean, that bonk's pretty mean, but it wasn't like crippling. It was just a pain in the ass. A way to extend the combat.
If we fought this thing as like, so if we fought this thing in the same way we fought the Nyogoth and the Chernobyl, but it was like the underling was this guy, I think it would be so much worse, because it would just be making you drop your weapons and shit while the big guy's hitting you, and you'd be like, oh, this little bastard is just really annoying, and he's really hard to catch, so it's really hard to stop harassing you. So yeah, just maybe if you really want to mess with your players, that's your approach there, GMs. Like I said, we just fought 2 of these, and it wasn't a life or death fight, but boy was it a pain in the ass. So if you really want a fight that creates a proper dynamic challenge, throwing just one of these into it would be a big thing. Would make a big difference, I think. So
yeah,
keep it in mind.
Absolutely.
Not much I would change though. I guess it would be cool to have the egg thing as a more long-term disease as opposed to a quick venom. It's interesting to see a venom or a poison this way. I will say that. But I love the whole dark gestation inside you thing. And maybe if you wanted to add something to this creature, add something like that. On the assumption that you've managed to capture a PC and like take them away and bring them back later in some
like
macabre
the mind
capacity.
Post-combat.
Exactly. Yeah. Put it to use because it would be really, really cool. You don't really need too much in the way of mechanics to make it all happen. Because I imagine
if the PC comes back as like a familiar,
deer?
you know? Well, yeah, but I mean, like have them transform into an animal and then bring them back as like an optional familiar that they could train or something like that. Even
your
if none
fighter,
of the classes allow it or whatever.
Your fighter comes back strangely as an animal instinct barbarian who has picked the deer. It's like their whole thing's changed.
Yeah, your druid comes back as like a house cat.
Yeah. So good.
Just won't leave the party alone for whatever reason. I do really like that this changes into a curse. I think that's a really neat and as far as I can tell, novel mechanic. I don't think I've seen that before.
I definitely haven't seen anything quite like that before. Yeah, not so far. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, reject tools, Gongorinan venom, something to think about. Let's talk about the Augnagar.
The horror of the hunger Qlippoth.
The hunger Qlippoth. Now, this one, if I recall correctly, was introduced in the Bestiary 2, but has been updated in the remaster with the Buster Core. So it's the first time we're seeing that combo. And this thing is has soul and spider-like legs, which you don't really see properly in this image. It is a little more obvious in the 1E image, I will point out. There you go. That looks a little more spider-like, right?
Yeah, like scuttles. Okay, kind of like wingtips. It scuttles on.
They gave
weird.
the 2E art gives it a little more forelegs, and then those seem to be in the background if you compare them. But then you have these webbed bat-like wings amongst those feet, and then you have stinger-tipped tails in the back, which I've described as more scorpion-like. They're a little bit in this one, but they're more scorpion-like in the 2E one. See, and they're supposed to be designed for like slashing flesh, basically, as well as I'm sure injecting venom. We'll get to that. These wings, though, we see in the 2E art here are supposed to span about 30 feet, so they're quite large. I don't don't quite know how they would fly with the 1E art. It's a bit more awkward. This one seems to be a little more, the 2E one appears to support that winged flight more.
Yeah, 2E1 looks like it's capable of flight. 1E1 looks like it has dreams of flight, or it evolved out of flight.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And this thing weighs about 6,000 pounds, or 2,722 kilograms approximately.
It's a small automobile.
Yeah, they live to feast. Perhaps much like the Nyogoth, but they prefer rotting flesh and demon flesh. Although, above all, they prefer flesh of other Augnagar. And I didn't expect this little tidbit. I thought when we thought this, Cam did this, and I thought Cam was just having fun. I didn't realize they had put some little lore action to this scenario.
I believe they were setting up our next combat.
They were, even more so than I had ever expected, because if this thing can manage to satisfy its hunger, and by satisfy I mean it gorges itself to the point of being so large in size that it can't move anymore. And it basically just sits in one spot, writhing about and thrashing until it goes into a frenzy and self-cannibalizes itself. And once it does that, the ruinous remains of this event result in the Thulgant, which is the next Qlippoth to cover. So these things transform into this creature after they have self-cannibalized.
Those
so if you let it
sentences
feed
that you
too
just
much,
spoke just rattled around in my brain, and just like self-cannibalize itself seems impossibly redundant, but also incredibly necessary.
Exactly. If you let this thing actually feed properly, like, it's a bigger danger because it will eventually do this and become something more dangerous. So when I read that and I was doing the research with it, I was like, oh, Cam nailed that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I knew about this going in. Good. Yeah.
Oh, I did. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in retrospect, I was like, that's so awesome. It's so good. Patrons, enjoy that combat, please. It was fun.
It was. I'm so excited to talk about it. First
this
time
was
we
the combat that
like
we had
heroes.
fun. Yeah. let's go into mechanics. There isn't anything else. That's the quick and dirty guy. So Augnagar, this is a level 14 creature. We fought 4 of these while we were level 15. So yeah, we were heroes. Compared to everything else. AC at 36, HP 225. This is a huge size category creature. It's got all the proper traits since it's been updated in the remaster. It also has speed 40, climb 40, fly 40, so it ain't messing around. It's got everything you would imagine. Dark vision, scent 30 foot, imprecise, which is significant. Because of its level, where our damage resistances are increasing to 15 over 10, so mental and physical, again with the cold iron.
Right.
I've highlighted here the reflex save as its lowest save because it was clutch for us. I think this was the first time we actually managed to succeed a recall knowledge check on any of these creatures. And we learned that fact and we put it to full use because at level 15, we had a massive repertoire of options, especially the casters. And we really put that to use.
Povo's Druid came up clutch for this one. I mean, I chose the spells, but clutch build, just popping off AoEs 40 feet above us and then 120 feet above us.
Yeah, because these things were flying. They came at us. They flew up all around us, and we were like, boop, 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 just shooting AoE spells into the air. And it was so good.
My investigator's opening 2 rounds will live forever in my brain, rent free. Just runs up to one of these things, tries to grapple it. It dimension doors into the sky. The investigator follows with the Cape of the Mount back, and then just lands on top of it, like just. Oh, love that scene. Just fighting and then teleporting. So I don't know why I love that so much. Probably so all the Dragon Ball Z I watched, but I love it. Makes me so happy.
That'll do it. Yeah. So this thing attacks you. It's coming in with a Jaws attack, 10-foot reach, 3d12 plus 14 piercing, plus 3d6 persistent bleed, which can be quite dangerous. Plus something called Rotting Curse, which of course we'll get to. The sting attacks have a 15-foot reach, and they're agile and finesse, and they're doing slash damage plus 3d6 persistent bleed as well, but no Rotting Curse. It also has its own display called Confusing Display. This has incapacitation. It's got a long list like some of the others in the previous episode. And basically writhing, squirming, and seething motions from all of its person makes this whole thing, as I've written, for a very confusing and disorienting situation. 30-foot emanation, DC 34 will save, immune to further displays for 1 minute. Critical success, unaffected. Success, stupefied for 1 round. Failure, stupefied and confused for 1 minute. So stupefied is going to linger. Confused, you can break away from based on some parameters. However, if you critically fail, it is as failure for 1 minute, but it removes some of those parameters, such as no flat checks to end confusion from damage taken from attacks or spells.
Whoa.
Yes. So you're very likely to be confused for that full minute. However, I've highlighted that as well to mention that it specifies damage from attacks or spells. So hostile moments that damage you. Arguably, if someone critically succeeds in tripping you, you take damage when you fall. Arguably, I mean, it could be an attack. The trip has the attack trait, but does it count?
Yep.
Of course, it probably does. But think about other sources of damage. Think about whether or not they can subvert this. I can't think of any on the top of my head.
Splash.
But there you go. Splash damage might actually.
AoEs.
Yeah. Well, AoEs are, well, yeah. Double check. I guess they don't have the attack trait because they're not spell attack rolls.
Yep.
So yeah.
Normally
you might.
I mean, it says damage taken, so that makes it a little more dubious. But if it's a hostile action, that usually gives you the save.
It does say damage taken from attack or spell. So if it's a fireball, it's a spell. It counts. You're not getting a save on that. But splash might be a good one. Arguably, splash is part of an attack. So but if it's an environmental effect, if there's like some sort of environmental effect, like you're walking through, I don't know, fire for some reason because a brazier was spilt over, not an attack, not a spell, maybe that subverts that critical failure. Just keep that in mind, GMs and players. Find a way to loophole that because it's brutal.
Yeah, so get brutal. Weird with it.
Get weird with it. You've earned it. Let's talk about inhale vitality, because this gave us some pause. Even though we rocked this fight, this gave us some pause. We didn't really realize, I think, there's a once per day ability, which would have given me a little more confidence.
No idea. Yeah, I was horrified of this.
It was scary to think that this could be, because a lot of breath attacks, which this resembles, have like a 1d4 reactivate in 1d4 rounds kind of thing. So I think we had that in our brains, like, oh shit, like if all four of these things are fighting, get us.
That in the range.
Yeah. Yeah. It sharply inhales and draws a life force out of every creature in a 50-foot cone. There was almost no avoiding it, especially since these things can just fly away and get into the right position. So DC 34 basic fort save, 14d6 void damage. And on a failure, you become fatigued, which I think happened, to one of your characters.
It did, yeah.
Yeah. And then if the damage is dealt to any creature, the Augnagar is quickened for 1 round. And the extra action can only be used to strike or stride, no step. So yeah, it's crazy. That once per day, I think, the fact that it was hidden from us it just gave us more anxiety, which is great. Really great as a player to have that, like, oh God, if this thing can if all 4 of these can be doing this, like, somewhere around 1 to 4 rounds each.
Just all 4 of them surrounding us, using this and just spamming this.
Yeah.
Would have just been crippling.
But it was not the case, thankfully. And passive, we'll cover that Rotting Curse that is in the old Jaws attack. It's pretty quick and dirty. It's a 32 fort save, is a curse in a disease. The first stage is drained for 1 day. So this is something that you might suffer after the fight, and then you have to contend with. Stage 2 is drain 2, and you start to form hideous wounds with a horrific stench. This is where it gets cool, because when you are at stage 2, if you take piercing or slashing damage, creatures within 30 feet of you must succeed another fortitude save or become sickened 1, including yourself. Which you automatically fail to save because you can't stand the smell of yourself.
Swell.
Yeah. So
this is what I imagine leprosy is like.
Yeah, no, for real. Just brutal. So yeah, it's I kind of love diseases in that, like, they might have like lingering effects as you go. I feel like we have never fully experienced one really coming to full task and actually causing a problem. We either recovered from them.
Pretty good job of foreshadowing isn't the right word, but you know what I'm trying to say. Mapping out that this is going to be a disease and this is going to be a real problem for you.
Right.
A good chunk of the time, like even with Kilino.
Right.
Like we hit the knowledge checks and you gave us enough information to fight the diseases. Whereas I think a more cruel GM would just not do that. not
Yeah.
prompt for those recall knowledge checks. Like,
well, it's fun. It's a balancing act, right? Because like in that particular scenario, this is for Stemming the Tide listeners. I wanted to provide the opportunity for the players to save someone. I also wanted to provide the opportunity for someone to feel like they've wasted their spells on saving an NPC they don't like. Which was very satisfying. Yeah. So if you can reveal a little more information or find a way to do that so that you can give someone a choice that they don't want to make but they feel like they should, like that was 100% that situation for me. And I was like, and especially it was Scott's character. It's like I was like, yes, I'm gonna make him spend his new highest level spell slot saving somebody.
Yeah, he just gotten it that day too. Like, yeah. Telegraph was the word I was looking for.
Oh, there Telegraph. You go. Fuck, that was funny. So yeah, keep that in mind. Good storytelling all around, friends. Do your best to do that. Yeah. We get just a tiny bit of spellcasting on this creature because they're pretty simple in this regard. They have translocate.
Don't need it
at rank 5. Don't really need it, and they have true sight constant at rank 7.
Though Cam did use that translocate a couple of times.
There was a couple of those, definitely, just to spread these creatures out and maybe make us think what we're gonna do. But we just had those AoEs already. It didn't really matter for this one, yeah. And
shit, what is your summoner's or your sorcerer's name? Celine?
Sloan.
Whatever that like holy shard spell was.
Oh, I forget what it's called. I was thinking of that earlier.
Fucking clutch.
This awesome divine spell that's high level where you just create like an orb around you where it's hollow inside, but the edge hits like damage and it's reflex save. So I fucked some of these things up.
Yeah.
And then and it's not sustained, but you can dismiss it. And I was just like, oh, it was so sick. It just protected us right away, did a bunch of damage. We threw some shit out and then I dismissed it. And I was sick. What's it called?
Absolute clutch play.
Yeah, I'm gonna find the name of that before we finish this episode. That was that's the Augnagar. It was a really fun fight. We did feel like heroes because it's the first time we've played that high of a level for sure, and we had so much at our disposal. And Cam gave us a good thematic fight, and really did end it on that note of creating a Thulgant. And I'm so excited to fight it now, and the part of me just hopes it kicks our ass. I don't know.
We'll see. I don't know. I think it kind of depends on whether or not we get a long rest in, which I'm assuming we will.
We're because the way it ended. Is it a rolling encounter, or are we gonna have a moment? We'll leave it in Cam's hands.
Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, rolling encounter would be real bad because most of my spells are gone.
We blew a lot. We were very generous in our spellcasting.
Yeah, definitely a survival
Not
mode.
Frugal.
No. But yeah, this was a blast. I mean, as always, Cam did an amazing job with the combat, not only staying true to the creature's base stats, but to their abilities and stuff like that. And for me, I honestly don't know if I've ever played anything higher than like 8th or 9th level before these
I certainly haven't. Maybe not in the system.
Yeah, maybe like up to 12 in like 5e or 1e, but definitely nothing past whatever we are in Stemming the Tide for 2e. So this was a 15th I've never played. Like there's no world in which I've ever gotten a PC that high because before we started this project, I was the one behind the screen the majority of the time. Yeah. Which you will be seeing in the near future again, listeners, because I'm itching for it.
Itching.
So
just
I need to. And it's 2e too. Like I've got a 2e story that I think I want to tell.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that'll be a pretty fun little homebrew down the road. I think we might try and live stream it in the new year, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. How long it takes me to write and how long it takes me to get PCs out of these fools.
All right. You know me, I'll have a PC ready in no time.
Oh yeah,
no
I'm
lack of ideas on my end.
I'm not worried about you. It'll actually kind of be a retelling of an adventure that you played. I think it was you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it was you, me, Becky, Pascal, and Jessica, and I set you I gave you class parameters. I was like, you can be a ranger, a monk, or a rogue, and you all showed up as Gloomstalkers.
Oh. that were part rogues with sneak attack. Yeah, that was my bad.
No, it was great. It was absolutely great. But I think I want to do something like that again.
Yeah.
But here's you're all from this place. These are like really hardcore class listings, not necessarily ancestry or background, because I don't really give a shit about that. But here are your classes. And I think I want to do like a Suicide Squad, maybe it's because I've just recently watched Andor and rewatched Rogue One, which is peak Star Wars. Come at me.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah. So I think I want to do something like that. Maybe like a Rogue One Suicide Squad, kind of like a little one shot where we just do like a 2-3 hour live stream and just get her done.
Yeah. That would be super
a lot of fun.
I'm into it. That'd be awesome. Well, we promise no timelines, of course, but we always have a tremendous amount of ideas rolling around to try and produce more content and just like have a good old time. We want to do more live streams. We want to do more, audio recordings. We want to do more video content. We want to do lots and lots and lots of things.
And full stop.
Yeah. And James will tell you the best way to help make that happen.
Yeah, over at patreon.com/Uncharted North. Great time to look up that spell. $5 a month will get you a handwritten thank you letter, theme button. There are other tiers above, beyond there. You can suggest a creature for ET, but I don't know if that's still going to be there. We're in the talks about moving some of that stuff around, but for now, still there.
Get in
if you want some gear, you can go to unchartednorth.com/shop. You can find all of our socials in the description below. YouTube, they might be scrolling by, but wherever you're listening, you can find us there. Scott does an amazing job curating our Instagram, so head on over there, check that out. Throw up some hearts, I think is how you like stuff on Instagram, so do that. They're doing great work over there. They do these, I think they're monthly posts where he does a deep dive into specific rules, and it's just, I don't follow that stuff. Scott just kind of does his own social media thing, and he's just killing it over there. So check that out if you can. Show notes and Works Cited will be at encounterthis.ca. You can just hit that, or again, link in the description. If you're audio and you want to see the videos, youtube.com/encounterpod. Or if you want the YouTube VODs of some of our previous live stream, that's at Uncharted North or at Uncharted No. I can't remember.
Somewhere in there.
They should be linked, so you should be able to find them. But Uncharted North on YouTube, you'll be able to find us. You know what our logo looks like. It's right behind Freeman over there. If you are audio, rate and review, please. Helps us a lot, especially on Spotify, especially on Apple Podcasts. Those things make a huge amount of difference. And I've recently learned that some of the other services, I think maybe Overcast, actually amalgamate the reviews with Apple and Spotify. So we do see those. My headphones are dying. If you're YouTube, do YouTube things. Subscribe if you want to get notified. Hit the bell if you actually want to get notified. Maybe if YouTube feels like it. And above all else, if you could just tell somebody that we do this fun, cool show, that would help us out immensely.
Yeah.
And our Discord, unchartednorth.com/Discord. I'll shunt you right into our Discord. You can come hang out with us anytime.
Great little community.
It's an amazing community. We do, you can get involved with the character building for Encounter This. You can, we do hangouts every now and again, trying to make them more regular, like little hobby hangouts. We're just trying to build something, trying to build a community, and we want you to be part of it. So come be a part of it.
Uncle Schmam wants you.
Yeah, or don't. If you're a lurker, lurking's cool. I'm a lurker.
Yeah. We're all lurking. We all be lurking.
Yeah. Come hang.
Come
he's
hang.
Cool.
Come do hangouts. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
The spell we're all looking for is called Blessed Boundary. Just so you know.
Blessed Boundary. All right, tuck that in your back pocket.
I highly recommend Divine Sorcerers. Everyone goes for the cleric. as the healer. Divine Sorcerer is fucking cool. I'm just saying.
It's a good build.
It's a cool build. I didn't
Yeah.
expect it. Highly recommend. Go to town. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Until next time, creatures, thanks, as always, for listening to Encounter This.